wanderer of the late hour, you slip beneath a linen sheet, feel the hush of the room settle around you, and the night breeze brushing your cheek like the shadow of a feather. A single beeswax candle trembles on the windowsill, its flame bowing and straightening, as if rehearsing the choreography of forgotten centuries. Take a slow breath. Another. Let the stale worries of today drift out with the exhale, like sand spilling through open fingers. In their place, invite the murmuring winds of Egypt, warm and sweet with distant lotus pollen. Hear them whistle past mud brick walls, rattle palm fronds, carry faint laughter from a marketplace now shuttered for sleep. Tonight you travel without moving. Your bed is a reed boat. The ceiling above is a sky bruised purple with desert dusk. Stars flare, then shiver over the black ribbon of the Nile. They have witnessed every secret whispered on its banks, and they promise to keep yours. You glide back more than 3,000 years, yet everything you feel is real, drawn from temple carvings, tax lists, birth amulets, brittle ledgers of bread and cloth. No invented fairy tale, only soft truth cushioned in candlelight. You will listen to the gentle but unrelenting rhythm of a woman's day, grinding grain at dawn, bargaining for fish at noon, cradling a sick child under the cobalt hush of evening. For now, just surrender to the current. The candle flickers, the breeze hums, the oars are already dipping in and out of the dark water, guiding you toward the first bend of the story, where the river greets the rising sun. Close your eyes, dear listener. Feel the air thrum with possibility. Each heartbeat is an oar stroke. Each sigh sets the sail. Whisper yes, and the journey begins right now, softly. You drift now toward the edge of the known. Somewhere between dream and dusk, the hush of an ancient city leans in. A thin breeze curls beneath the reed roof. It smells of warm wheat, wood smoke, and something older. Frankincense, perhaps, clinging to the hem of the gods. You are in Wazit, the city later called Thebes, just before sunrise. The year is 1460 BC. Pharaoh Thutmose rules, at least on papyrus. But it is women who carry the day, breath by breath, bread by bread. The first stirrings come not from roosters, but from clay ovens being coaxed to life. A girl's hands, rough with flour, pat tiny loaves into shape. The dough is quiet, obedient, still remembering the warm thrum of the earth where the barley grew. Her name you might never know. History kept her nameless. But you are welcome to imagine Satra, perhaps, or Nofret. Her mother whispers from the next room, "Rise now, the market waits for no one." As you move through the dim courtyard, the stone floor still holds the chill of night. Chickens rustle in corners. A goat sighs. Somewhere, a baby fusses and is hushed with the sway of hips that have known this rhythm for generations. Outside, the street is a tapestry of awakening. A man carries fish in woven baskets, wet and silver in the low light. A perfume maker stirs lotus petals into oil. The temple's drumbeats start slowly, 2, then 4, calling priestesses to their hidden hymns. You walk not as a queen, but as a daughter of dust and sun. Your tunic is coarse linen, damp where you rinsed your face. You feel it cling to your back, smell the Nile in the fabric. The world is waking around you, not suddenly, but like a long-held breath being let go. Take your time. We're not in a hurry. ChatGPT Junnoi. By mid-morning, heat begins to rise, not sharply, but with the slow persistence of a cat curling around your ankles. The sky turns a deeper shade of pale. Shadows retreat under clay eaves. You pause at the edge of the alley, basket on your hip, and listen, not to noise, but to pattern. The thunk of grindstones, rhythmic, constant, like breath. The slap of sandals on packed earth. The lull of voices haggling in a tongue old as salt. You could follow these sounds like threads in a tapestry, one leading to the bakery, one to the weaver's corner, one to the shrine where women offer milk and honey in bowls older than memory. Satra, or whatever name you've chosen for her, knows these rhythms without thinking. She walks the same way each day, stops by the same fig tree, greets the same old widow with bad knees and sharp eyes, hands over 2 copper dibbon for goat cheese wrapped in palm leaf, all of it etched in routine. Yet today, something stirs. A traveller stands near the temple gate, not a soldier, not a priest. His tunic is dyed, a colour too fine for the dust of this street. He doesn't speak, just watches. And Satra, who is not looking for wonder, feels a flicker in her belly. Not fear, not thrill, just something unscripted. She turns away, quickly, but as she does, the wind, playful, sudden, lifts a corner of her headscarf. For a breath of a second, the 2 strangers glimpse each other fully, not as subjects of the same kingdom, but as people suspended in time. Then the moment passes. The temple drums resume. The path winds forward. She returns home by noon, arms sore from carrying grain, face flushed with heat. The house smells of lentils. Her mother is humming, slow and low, grinding coriander with salt. The same meal again, but also the comfort of it, the reliability of repetition. On the windowsill, the candle stands untouched, but not unlit. Sunlight kisses its wax, softening the edges. Even in daylight, its promise holds. A reminder. No matter how heavy the day, night will return with its hush, and stories will be told beside its glow. Take a sip of water, let your shoulders fall. The story has only just begun. Afternoon sinks gently over the city, as if the sky itself were dipping low to rest. Shadows stretch like cats across the threshold, lazy and long. Inside the small home, heat settles into the clay walls, and every breath feels steeped in dust and cumin. Satra sits on a reed mat, unwinding flax between her fingers. The fibres catch the light, pale gold, soft, stubborn. Her thumb is raw from spinning, but she does not pause. Hands move with practiced rhythm, inherited, not taught. Outside, a cicada begins its song. One tone, held too long, then another, a lullaby of the dry season. From the rooftop, a child calls to a friend, the vowels round and lilting. Somewhere, a pot shatters, then laughter. Life spills from doorway to alley in fragments, bright, ordinary, enduring. Today, like most days, Satra has not seen the Nile, though she lives only 4 turns from its bank. She imagines it anyway, cool, dark, whispering beneath papyrus reeds. She remembers once, as a child, watching her mother cup water from it into a clay bowl. The gesture was gentle, reverent, as if the river could remember every hand it ever kissed. Her sister hums from the other room, a tune without words but not without meaning. It tells of harvests, of moonlight rituals, of nights when the women gather to grind stories into the dough. Bread and memory kneaded together. A dragonfly taps the open window. Tap, tap, then gone. Dust hangs suspended in the shaft of sun like powdered amber. Time does not pass here, it thickens, and you, listening now, you begin to feel it too. That slowening, that hush. You are not merely hearing her day, you are in it. Your hands feel the flax. Your breath catches in the dry air. You too are a daughter of the sun, caught between duty and dream. The candle waits, patient, as if it knows. Night is coming. Take your time. We're not in a hurry. The rooftop is cool beneath her feet. Terracotta tiles still holding the quiet of night. Satra sweeps gently with a date palm frond, its brittle bristles whispering against dust and yesterday's ashes. The scent of old bread ovens lingers, warm and ghostly. Above her, the sky bruises pink, neither flower nor flame, but something in between. A new beginning, stretched thin across the horizon. Birds stir in distant fig trees, calling each other in short, urgent bursts. Smoke rises from neighbouring rooftops, blue ribbons against a canvas of dawn. Below, the alley wakes. Someone passes with a sloshing jar. Another leads a donkey, hooves clicking soft against stone. A child darts by, laughing, sharp and sudden, like the call of a sparrow. Satra breathes in deeply. Air here smells of cumin and promise. She lifts her hair and ties it back with a thread of linen. Morning wind curls through the courtyard, brushing her neck. A cat appears beside a clay pot, yawns, then rubs its body against her leg, tail curling like a question mark. She picks it up absently, its purring vibrating faintly against her ribs. In the stillness, her thoughts turn, not heavy, but constant. The grind of grain, the errand to the market, the little boy down the street who lost his sandal again, her father's cough, her mother's silence last night. Life does not change much, and yet each day tilts a little, a shift in the wind, a silence broken too soon. She waters the small fig tree in the corner, its leaves still glistening with dew. The water is cool, drawn from a jar that has known many hands. She hums softly, a tune passed down without words, about rain or love or both. No one remembers now. She stands quietly now, watching the city stretch and shift in slow rhythms. The candle on the stair, still unlit, seems to wait with her, sensing the coming heat, the pulse of life stirring behind mud brick walls. Take a breath with her. Morning has just begun. By mid-morning, the sun hangs brighter, no longer tender, but not yet cruel. In the heart of the courtyard, Satra kneels beside the quern stone, a shallow bowl of granite, worn smooth from years of the same motion, back, forth, back again. Her fingers settle into the familiar weight of the upper stone. The grain smells sweet today, barley mostly, some emmer, sifted and blended. She tips the mixture in with care, then begins to grind. Muscles awaken with each pass. The motion is slow at first, then rhythmic, like waves pulling sand. The dust floats upward, pale and fine, catching in her lashes. She squints, not stopping. Her mother sits nearby, repairing a torn hem with tiny stitches. They speak little. Words are unnecessary here. The rhythm of the grinding is conversation enough. A neighbour girl skips past the doorway, singing. Satra hums along beneath her breath. Her hands press harder now. The flour grows finer. Time thickens again. She remembers the stories once told by the fire, how the gods taught women to tame grain, to coax food from the earth, to stir the hunger of men with the scent of baking bread. She does not question these tales. They are old and useful. Her knees begin to ache. A strand of hair falls forward, sticks to her cheek. She does not brush it away. The world has narrowed to this stone, this grain, this hour. Everything else can wait. The cat appears again, tail swishing. It presses close, watching the movement of her arms, its eyes half-lidded, as if in a trance. Outside, a rooster crows, late, confused. The candle inside has melted a little, though no one has lit it yet. In the kitchen alcove, fire is being coaxed to life again. Soon the dough will rise, but for now the sound of stone against stone sinks gently under the sun. Take your time. We're not in a hurry. The sun rides higher now, its golden weight pressing down through the alleys, heating the mud brick walls until they sweat spice and smoke. Satra balances a woven basket on her hip, filled with dried figs and a small jar of goat cheese wrapped in palm fronds. Her steps are light, practiced. The path to the river market is older than memory. She passes murals flaking from temple walls, gods with ibis heads, lionesses mid-roar. A breeze lifts her scarf. Somewhere, someone is pounding linen in the river shallows. The sound sharp and clean like distant applause. The market bursts gradually into sound. No fanfare, just a soft layering. Laughter, shouts, clay clinking, sandals slapping. Each stall is a still life of colour and hunger. Lemons piled like sunlit marbles. Papyrus scrolls curling gently in the heat. A man chants the praises of his fish. Silver like the moon, fresh like morning. She trades without haste. 2 loaves for oil, 3 onions for a length of dyed thread. The woman selling coriander calls her moon-cheeked. A compliment or a tease. Satra smiles either way. They've known each other since both had knees scraped from chasing cats. At the edge of the square, under an awning of reeds, sits a blind scribe. His fingers move constantly, touching nothing. He doesn't beg, he listens. Some say he hears stories the wind forgets. Satra leaves a fig on the stone beside him. No words, a tradition between them. She lingers by the river, just beyond the stalls. Papyrus reeds hiss and bend. Boats creak softly in their moorings. Water glints like melted brass. She crouches, dips her fingers in. Cool, immediate. 1,000 years run past her skin. She whispers a prayer to Taweret, the goddess who guards women and birth. Not aloud, just in the breath between thoughts. A bee circles the lip of her basket. She brushes it away with a laugh. Not everything has to mean something. The candle back home will have slumped by now, its wax remembering the shape of heat. Take another breath. The afternoon is long, and the day is far from over. The kitchen is dim, though sunlight pushes in through a high slit in the wall, scattering golden bars across the floor. The smell of yeast and ash hangs thick in the air. Satra kneels beside the hearth, sleeves rolled past her elbows. Her arms are dusted in flour, her breath steady. The dough rises slowly in a clay bowl beside her, warm from the coals banked nearby. She checks it by touch, firm but yielding, like the skin of a ripe fig. Satisfied, she lifts a portion and begins shaping flat rounds. Each motion is deliberate, intimate. Her fingers leave impressions that will vanish in the fire's embrace. Her mother watches, nods once, no praise needed. The bread itself will answer. She slides each round onto the hot stone, adjusting them with a stick smoothed by years of use. The crust blisters almost instantly, hissing faintly. The scent, that alchemy of grain, heat, and time, wraps around her like a hymn. They will eat this bread with lentils tonight, or with onions and salt, or nothing at all. Still, it will be enough. Outside, a neighbour calls a greeting through the courtyard wall. Chickens clatter. The day leans towards stillness. Yet inside this space, time pulses strong. The gods are not far here, Not distant idols of bronze and stone, but present, in the heat of the fire, the thump of mortar and pestle, the silence of shared labour. Before the last loaf goes in, Satra presses her thumb lightly into the centre, just once. A mark, a blessing, a reminder, I was here. The firewood snaps. A curl of smoke escapes the flue and dances near the ceiling like a ghost remembering something. She does not look toward the candle, but she feels it. Even unlit, it watches gently. Take your time, the bread is still warm. Afternoon deepens into something quieter. The market voices fade behind the house walls, replaced by the softer sounds of rest. Pots being rinsed, linen shaken loose of dust. The low murmur of women speaking with their hands more than mouths. Even the chickens seem to doze in the shade. Satra lifts a jug from the cool alcove in the floor. Its clay is damp with condensation. She pours slowly into a shallow basin, watching the ripples chase each other like wind across wheat. The water catches the sun's reflection from the slit in the roof, briefly becoming gold. Her sister joins her, humming again. The tune has grown, a little fuller, a little higher. It must be the same song from morning, now changed by the shape of the day. They wash together in silence, water splashes, echoing soft against the walls. She dips her cloth, wrings it out, presses it to her arms, her neck, her closed eyes. Relief. The fabric smells of river and reed, of home. A small moment, a full one. Behind them, their mother mutters a prayer. She sprinkles a line of salt along the lintel, just enough to keep misfortune at bay, she says. Not that they expect trouble, but neither do they assume peace. The gods, like the sun, can burn or bless. Satra sits in the courtyard's corner, legs tucked beneath her. A breeze stirs the drying laundry. Linen flutters overhead like wings without birds. She watches the shadows of it all, clothes, cat, her own fingers against the earth. Time passes slowly in these shadows, bending and stretching, but never vanishing. She runs a hand through the dust, not drawing, not writing, just feeling. Her name would disappear anyway. Everything written in dust is a secret between you and the wind. In the doorway, the candle leans slightly in its dish. The wax has pooled, hardened, softened again. It hasn't been touched all day, yet somehow it seems smaller now. The light will shift soon. Take your time. There's no need to rush dusk. Chapter 6, Threads and Telling. The sun slants lower, casting everything in a golden hush. It's the hour when shadows grow curious and stretch long fingers across the threshold, reaching for stories they once knew. In this quiet, Satra brings out the loom. It leans against the courtyard wall, simple, upright, worn. The vertical threads are stretched taut, the weft resting in a shallow bowl beside her, dyed with pomegranate, indigo, onion skins. The colours are soft now, aged like whispered secrets. Her fingers know the path. Over, under, pull, beat. Over, under, pull, beat. Each pass is a sentence, each row a memory. She does not weave for beauty. She weaves for continuity. Her grandmother's voice returns in fragments. Keep your tension steady, girl. Too tight, and it warps. Too loose, and it falls apart. Like a life, yes. Satra smiles faintly. The cat sits at her feet, tail flicking in slow rhythm. Her sister combs wool nearby, humming a new tune. Their mother crushes fenugreek seeds with a round stone, the scent rising sharp and ancient. A neighbour drops in, bringing gossip like herbs, pinches of scandal, leaves of laughter. A man too young, making eyes at a widow. A merchant swearing his dates cure dreams. No one asks for truth. That's not what stories are for. Satra adds a red thread to the cloth. Not for decoration, for marking. For remembering the day the candle almost tipped in the breeze, but didn't. A thread for steadiness. Above her, swallows flit across the rim of the sky. Their wings sketch the day's last verse. Light lingers in the threads. Soon it will withdraw. Slowly, like a blessing, the cloth grows longer. Time folds into its fibers. And still the candle waits. Take your time. The weave is not yet done. Twilight falls not with drama, but with ease. Like a familiar shawl drawn gently over shoulders. The courtyard dims. Edges soften. Colours melt into one another, becoming shades of hush. Birds vanish into eaves, their voices stilled. The last sounds of the street, footsteps, a gate creaking, quiet one by one, folded into dusk. Satra gathers kindling beneath the clay stove. Thin sticks, dry leaves, a curl of linen thread too small to weave. She arranges them carefully, like secrets stacked in order. A breath, then a spark from flint. Small at first, uncertain, then brighter. The fire begins to breathe. Its glow climbs the walls, painting the air with flickers of orange. Smoke curls upward, carrying the day's residue. Flour dust, crushed herb, kitchen murmur. The scent of it nestles into her hair, mixing with the smoke of memory. Behind her, the cat stretches and settles, its tail twitching once before sleep. Dinner simmers low in the pot. Lentils, garlic, a sliver of dried fish, softened in water. Her sister stirs slowly, matching the rhythm of her thoughts. Each swirl is like a reflection of the day, round and repetitive, but never quite the same. Their mother prepares the offering, bread, beer, a touch of honey on a clay dish, placing it on the family altar with a nod toward ancestors, unseen but not forgotten. The smell of fenugreek blends with the smoke. There's a hush that descends during meals in this house, not from discipline, but reverence. Food is not merely sustenance, it is history, it is repetition, it is trust. They eat with fingers, seated low on woven mats. The lentils are hot and thick. The bread tears easily, still soft from the midday bake. Satra hands her mother the first piece, a gesture repeated every evening for as long as she can remember. The shadows sway gently on the walls as the fire speaks in its quiet, crackling tongue. The candle is still unlit, yet its presence is felt, an unspoken anticipation. Perhaps no one lights it tonight, or perhaps someone will, just before sleep. After dinner, the fire is left to die slowly. No one rushes it. Ash gathers like soft snow. A pot is rinsed, a mat folded. The cat returns to the corner, eyes closed but ears alert. The sisters linger. Sometimes they sing. Tonight, they do not. Instead, Satra places her hand near the embers, not to warm herself, but to remember the shape of heat, the memory of flame held in the skin. She draws her fingers back and looks up at the sky. The first stars are out, just 3. One of them, her mother says, is the eye of Hathor. "Make a wish," her sister whispers. But Satra already has. The fire sighs one last time, and the room gives way to shadow. In the near dark, the candle on the stair glows faintly, not from flame, but from remembering it. Take your time. The night is still young. Night arrives fully now, as if it had always been waiting behind the horizon, patient, sure. The house exhales. Everything slows. The courtyard, swept clean. The last bowl stacked. Even the walls seem to settle into themselves. Satra prepares the sleeping mat with quiet care. The linen has been aired in the dusk. It carries the scent of dust, wind, and faint rose water. She shakes it once, softly, not to rid it of dirt, but to remind it of touch. The mat lies near the wall, close to the small niche where charms rest. Familiar things, watchful things. Her sister has already slipped beneath the light cover, her breath soft and regular. A curl of hair sticks to her cheek. She doesn't stir as Satra moves, though a hand reaches out, half asleep, finding the edge of Satra's sleeve. It lingers for a moment, then falls away. The room is small, enclosed by mud brick and silence. A niche in the wall holds the family's amulets. A carved frog for fertility, a sliver of turquoise for calm, a worn eye of Horus for safety. Each one placed there, not out of superstition, but love. Each one smoothed by years of fingers, brushing them in passing. Satra kneels before the niche, bowing her head, not in ritual, but recognition. She whispers something too soft for even the cat to hear. A name, a promise, maybe just a wish. She rises and folds her robe beside the mat, smoothing it once before lying down. The cat arrives, as it always does. Paws soft as breath, it circles twice and settles against her legs. Its weight is slight, but steady, a heartbeat outside her own. She strokes its back once, then lets her hand fall. Outside, a breeze lifts the curtain. It smells of night and river, of distant fig smoke, and the cool hush of sleeping trees. Somewhere down the alley, someone coughs. A door creaks shut, then nothing but crickets, and the pulse of stars. Satra turns to face the candle. It has not been lit all day, yet it has been there, patient, unburned, bearing silent witness. It saw the bread rise, heard the rhythm of the loom, felt the hush of evening prayers. It watched her hands wash, stir, sew. It watched her pause, and now, as sleep drapes the house like linen, she reaches out. Flint, a spark, a whisper of smoke, then flame. The candle wakes, a golden breath in the room's chest. Its light does not chase shadows, it softens them. It stretches over the wall, tracing lines only Satra knows. The chip where her father bumped the jar, the smudge from her sister's charcoal, a mark that might be a fingerprint, or might be older. In the candlelight, even stillness glows. She lies back, eyes open, letting the warmth of the flame nest in her gaze. Not blinking, just watching. The wax leans slowly. Time leans with it. The cat stirs. Her sister sighs. The amulets cast soft reflections. Satra's eyes close. Behind her lids, the flame continues to dance. Not brightly, just enough. A quiet echo of everything this day has been. A flicker of safety, of witness. Tomorrow will begin again. But for now, this is enough. Take your time. You are safe here. The candle burns low now. Its flame, once certain, flickers with the hush of sleep. The room is steeped in amber and breath. Time no longer moves. It settles, like silt in water, left undisturbed. Outside, the moon hangs, round and silent. It paints the courtyard silver. The fig tree casts a crooked shadow on the wall, and the air smells of stone cooled by night. Satra dreams gently before she's even crossed the threshold of sleep. Not dreams of story or voice, but sensation, warmth against her feet, the taste of lentils lingering, the grain of linen beneath her fingertips. The body remembers what the mind lets go. She stirs once. The mat creaks. The cat lifts its head, then sinks again. A nightjar calls in the distance. 3 soft notes, then silence. And somewhere deeper, the house remembers too. The walls echo faint heartbeats. The floor holds laughter in its grains. Even the ceiling knows lullabies. Her sister mumbles, something indistinct. A name, a fragment. The room does not answer, but it listens. Everything here listens. Satra's breath slows. Her body sinks, but one part stays slightly awake. The part that holds the candle's shape behind closed eyes. It glows there, quiet and round, a sun that has forgotten to rise. She is not thinking of tomorrow. She is not thinking of anything. But if she were, she might remember the scent of her mother's shawl, or the way the scribe at the market listened to wind, or the story of the goddess who swallowed shadows. There's a rhythm in all of it. Grind, weave, bake, wash, rest. A music so subtle it can only be heard with the skin. Outside, a cloud shifts. The moonlight dims. For a moment, the room belongs wholly to the candle. It flickers, then holds. Take your time. The dream is near. The first sound is not light, but a bird. One single call, round and shy, rises into the soft belly of the dark. Then another, then a handful, scattered like beads on string. They do not announce the sun. They remember it, as if coaxing it back. Inside the house, night still lingers, like breath on a mirror. Shadows hang loose across the walls, soft and faithful. The candle, now a quiet twist of cooled wax, sits in its dish without regret. It has done its watching. Its silence has held 1,000 small things. It asks for nothing. Satra does not wake all at once. Her limbs remember sleep more than thought. She shifts slightly on the mat, one leg unfolding like a fern. The cat has gone, slipped away in the hours when dreams are heaviest. In its place, warmth remains. Her breath deepens. Her eyes stay closed. But her skin begins to listen. It hears the scuff of her mother's feet in the courtyard. That rhythm only mothers have. It feels the tilt in the air, the gentle weight of cooler breeze slipping through the reed door. It senses the scent of fig leaves, dew, and smoke not yet lit. There is no alarm, no sudden light, just a patient unraveling of dark into colour. One toe grazes the edge of the mat. Her fingers twitch. Her chest rises, then falls, then rises again. A slow returning. When she opens her eyes, the ceiling is already bathed in silver. Not sunlight, yet. The kind of brightness that lives between stars and flame. The kind that only visits those who rise without being called. She sits up slowly, not because she is tired, but because the moment is too soft to break. Her hair spills over her shoulder. A few grains of sleep dust her robe. She does not speak. There is no need. She looks toward the candle. Its wick is black, curled like a sleeping question. She smiles, not with lips, but with breath. The candle is done. But the light, oh, the light is just beginning. Take your time. Day has returned, and it waits for no one. But you, it welcomes. Chapter 10, Dawn Again, continued. She moves to the doorway barefoot. The stones beneath are cold, not harsh, just honest. Each step a small pact between her and the earth. I am here. I am awake. I remember. The courtyard has changed in the softest ways. The broom rests against a fig tree. The water jar glistens, its clay dark with morning dew. A loaf of bread, last night's gift to the gods, has been nibbled at its edge. Satra does not mind. Mice, birds, spirits, all eat when no one is looking. She kneels beside the jar, dips her hands in. Water spills through her fingers, clear and biting. It runs back into dust. She cups her palms again, presses them to her cheeks. The cold climbs into her skin, brushing away whatever night still clung there. Above her, The sky begins its slow bloom. Not gold, not yet. Blue first. The kind of blue only seen by early risers, guards and women who kneel before the world stirs. She listens. Her mother's voice, low and steady, humming a song without words. A neighbour's laugh, half stifled behind a wall, the creak of wood stretching itself awake. She lays out the first cloth of the day, smooths it, weighs its corners with small stones, not because wind might lift it, but because rituals matter, especially the quiet ones. Behind her, the room still holds the hush of sleep. Her sister stirs but does not rise. The mat remembers the shape of her dreams. The air inside still smells of wax and warmth. Satra does not rush. She tears yesterday's bread with care, dips it in oil, chews slowly. The taste is ordinary, the kind that lingers long after the meal ends. She eats without hunger, she eats to begin. The birds are louder now, more certain. One lands on the fig tree, preens, then takes off again, just because. Satra smiles. This day, like all the others, is not new, but it is hers, and that is enough. Take your time. Morning has many doors. You may choose any of them. Chapter 10, Dawn Again, continued. She rises slowly, pressing both palms to her knees before standing fully. Her body still carries the weight of the night, but not in weariness, more like a cloak still warm from sleep. She gathers her hair, tying it loosely, with the same strip of linen she used yesterday, and the day before. The knot knows her fingers now. In a kitchen corner, a new loaf waits to be made. The grinding stone rests where it always rests, flecks of flour caught between its lips. She runs her hand over its surface, then leaves it. Not yet. There's time. She picks up the water jug and moves toward the gate. The path to the well is not far. Dust clings to her ankles with every step, but it's a familiar dust. Hers and the villagers and all the women before her. The morning is wider now. Shadows still stretch long, but light is pushing. A neighbour nods. A child runs past with a strip of cloth tied like a crown. A goat bleats. A chicken flutters its wings just once before settling again. Everything stirs. Nothing hurries. At the well, she waits her turn. No one speaks loudly here. Words are exchanged in half smiles and raised brows. The bucket drops, wood creaks, water sloshes. Another day has been drawn up from the earth. When it is her turn, she does not fumble. The rope glides through her palms like a blessing, cool, frayed, familiar. The water is heavier than she remembers, or perhaps she is just not fully in her bones yet. No matter. She lifts it, balances it on her hip, begins the walk back. By the time she returns, the sun has broken the edge of the roofs. Gold bleeds across mud brick and thread. Shadows retreat, but not all the way. She lights a fire beneath the stove. The kindling catches easily. A new day is always easier to burn. From the wall she lifts a single bowl. No cracks, no dust, ready. The cat has returned, curling against the doorframe, tail flicking once. And inside a candle, burnt down and stilled, remains untouched. No one clears it away. That is not its fate. It is memory now, shape without flame. Satra breathes in the moment, deep and unbroken. Another day, another sky, same hands, same heart. Take your time. This light is yours. Chapter 10, Dawn Again, conclusion. The sun is full now, painting the top edges of every wall in amber. It does not rush. It rolls gently forward, like dough being stretched beneath knowing hands. The courtyard is awake. So is the world. Satra sweeps the threshold with small palm broom. one careful stroke at a time. It's not about the dust, it's about presence. She hums a low note under her breath, something without words. The rhythm keeps her hands moving. Her mother nods in passing. No need to say anything. Breakfast is simple. Dates, a heel of bread, a smear of cheese. Enough, more than enough. She eats while crouched near the fig tree, letting its new leaves brush against her shoulder when the breeze comes. A neighbor girl appears at the gate, barefoot, shy, holding a basket that tilts slightly in her grip. Inside, a spool of thread, a cracked mirror, and a scrap of red cloth. Trade, conversation, a shared morning. The girl says nothing. Satra gestures her in. And so the day continues. They sit by the mat, threading silence between them, stitching small things into being. One begins a braid, the other untangles a knot. Hands speak where mouths do not. The candle remains, not lit, not needed, but not forgotten. Its presence is quieter now. It does not claim attention. It simply holds its place on the ledge, like a sentinel retired from duty. Satra glances at it once before rising again. Tomorrow she will trim its wick. Tomorrow she may light it once more. Or not. She smiles, barely. The day no longer waits, but neither does it demand. The house breathes again, wide and open, and Satra, moving through its morning light, breathes with it. Take your time. The day is yours to enter. You've stayed with her all the way. This story, so simple on the surface, one day in the life of an ancient Egyptian woman, but within each grain of flour, each thread woven, each hand dipped in water, there were quiet keys unlocking something deeper. The sacred rhythm of the ordinary, the dignity of repetition, the poetry of survival. You listen, skin first, then breath. She, Satra, needed no grand tale. She didn't conquer, she didn't vanish, she didn't chase a miracle. And yet in her quiet, still here, still rising, still baking, still weaving, still waiting for the flame, a softer miracle took shape, a gentle persistence of continuity. The candle across 10 chapters, sometimes burning, sometimes simply sitting. But it was never absent. It bore witness. It offered no answers, only presence. And sometimes that is more than enough. As you close your eyes tonight, may you carry that flame within, small, steady, unshaken. Take your time. The light has not left you.